Hello and welcome to Jamie's Motion Graphics episode 4. Today we're going to make this. All of this has been made in After Effects from scratch, and I will explain to you step by step how you can make it yourself. And here we are in After Effects once again, and as always we are starting off with a new composition, 1280 by 720, 25 frames per second. It doesn't really matter too much for this one. We are going to grow a tree, but you've already seen that in the beginning. First of all, we're going to make a nice background, which is basically the sky, and we're going to make a foreground, which is basically the ground. And after that is all said and done, we are going to start on our tree. So first of all, layer, new solid. I always work with solids because I just like them better. And we're going to select a nice background color. So yeah, that's all you need to do for the background. I'm going to put a lock on it so I can't accidentally move it. And we're going to go into new, and then this time we're going to go into solid once again, but this time obviously it's going to be another color. Green. Yeah, seems about right. So now everything is green. Obviously we don't want that, so we're going to take the pen tool, draw something around it. This is short clicking. If you click and hold, you get these handles. We don't want those. We want a nice clean rectangle. Obviously this is not the one that we want, so we're going to go to masks, and we're going to make it into an actual rectangle by putting here reset to rectangle. If it's already set to rectangle, make sure there's a mark here. Hit OK, and because we're outside of the picture, we know for sure that even the edges are done correctly. So this one can also be locked now. We're not going to change that anymore. Oh, except for one thing. I'm going to change the transparency or the opacity. Hit T for opacity or transparency, whatever, and we're going to set that to something low, like this. So we can still see where it is, but it won't block our view. And then after we've done that, lock it up, and we can get on with our lives. Anyhow, the next one is going to be another solid, so new solid, and this is going to be our tree, so it's going to be brown. Brown is normally under the yellows and oranges, so we're going to just pick a nice color brown, hit OK, and it will overwrite the entire thing, obviously. We're going to take our pen tool and draw a little bit of whatever. Just pick 4 points. That's all you need for now. We're going to add more points as we go, because that is the trick we're teaching today. So once again, just like with the other one, we're going to go to masks, Mosque Path here, and then click the shape. And this time the shape is not going to be a rectangle, it's going to be an ellipse. So once again, put the check mark in. If it's not there, then well, this is going to be our tree. It's a little bit too big for us, so we're going to make it a little bit smaller, because we want it to start as a really small tree. So yeah, if you fold all this together and then pick up the Convert Vertex tool, it will actually become a lot smaller. And then we're going to once again go to Shape, Reset to Ellipse. OK, it will make everything happen again. And yeah, as you can see, that's why we kept it in here. It's just below the ground, so we can't see it in the first few pixels, and that is, or the first few frames, sorry. That is exactly what we want. So yeah, excellent. I'm going to drag it down a little bit so it's actually underneath it. Make sure it's just about in the middle if you want. Well, make sure you put it where you want your tree to grow. For now, this seems to be about right. Let's see where the position is of our layer. P for position, and we can just adjust it with this if we want to. Yeah, let's. This is X, Y. This is X. So let's make this into 640. Put it in the middle. Yeah, that seems right. So yeah, the Y position was already okay. So now we have this. But this little dot here is not going to be visible, so we're going to grow a tree from here. To do that, we're going to have to go to Masks, which is either hit M, or you can just use this little thingamabob and just go to Mosque Path. We're going to animate it, so make sure you're on 0 with your time indicator here, the little thing. Put it on 0 and then hit the stopwatch and our first frame will appear. Okay, we're going to grow it for, let's say, 20 seconds total. No, that's really long. 10 seconds. We can always speed it up, so it's if it's too long, we can speed it up afterwards. We just want to have some room to work with. And we're going to grow it out to as big as it gets immediately, because we want it to be a smooth transition, and we're going to add in between that. I'm going to set the time, the visible time here a little bit. That's the top bar, just to make sure that I can work in between the keyframes, or well, in the right keyframes, I should say. As you can see, I'm 924 here, so we're going to hit the page down in this case. Page up, page down allow you to scroll in the time 1 frame at a time. And yeah, we're going to just use the selection tool to select the top 3 thingies here, the vertices, I guess, and we're going to drag them upwards. Yes, it looks terrible, I am aware of that. So we're going to try to drag them up straight. It doesn't have to be exactly straight, but we're going to leave 1 point behind, which is not enough. So we're going to hit the pen tool and add 1 more point, and then put both of them with the Convert Vertex tool into linear points, which are the ones without the handles. And so once our tree is this big, we want this tree to be a little wider as well. And you can see why we set this to linear. It makes that this line becomes straight. So both of them, obviously. We want it to be like this, like a nice big tree. The top one, obviously, so the top points also need to be a little bit bigger. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can have a better view of what our tree looks like. It has to be a little smaller in the top, but not too much. And then our top part is going to grow up a little bit, maybe be a little bit rounder. I don't know. Anyway, make sure that you pay some attention at least to what you're doing here, because you can't do this afterwards. It's because of the technique that we're going to use today, you can't correct it afterwards. So make sure that what you make is actually what you want to present. So for example, here this is when the tree first comes out of the ground, and I added a new point to this, and I want that point to be over here. Oh wait, I want that point to be linear for one, and then I want that point to be in the right spot so that the tree actually grows upwards. And so I'm just going to, oh, this one's also, it also has a handle. I don't want that, I want linear points. And I'm just going to draw it out, drag it out a little bit, so you can see that it's a little bit smaller in the top than at the bottom already, and that is going to just increase over time, but it will look a little bit nicer if you do it like that. So now we have the complete height of our tree. This is as high as it will go. This is obviously just the base of the tree. We're going to now add some branches, but the branches will start growing once the tree, or from the moment the tree, well, kind of is, let's say, this big, and we can start adding branches. And now you will see why we will not be able to correct this anymore. Select the pen tool, and we're going to grow a branch over here, I think, somewhere. Yeah, that sounds about right. So to make a branch, we need to add 3 more points, which is just using the pen tool. You click on 3 different spots. It doesn't matter too much where they are, as long as they're relatively close together. And yeah, they are kind of equal. If you don't like your positioning, so if you kind of messed up, just Control Z or Command Z, I guess, on the Mac. Just make sure that you undo it, because you don't want to drag these points. It looks terrible. I will tell you that right now. So we're also going to add a branch in the top part. We can actually make multiples again. No, I'm just going to make 3. You can do what you want. I'm just going to make 3. So now we're going to drag them out, because what we want is we want these branches to grow into a tree. So we're going to our last frame, the one where we said this is where our tree is mature. You can also select them here, by the way, I just realized. And we're going to draw them out, and I just realized I drew too many points, because I already have points. So I'm going to undo, as I said, Control Z, and we only need 2 more points. So 1, 2, because 1 is already there. 1, 2. Then we're going to go to the end. You can also do it here, as I said. But yeah, they're still pretty close together. I just want them there to make sure that they start growing here, because the points don't exist earlier than that. So we're going to grow this out, make it into a nice branch. Yes, it still looks terrible, but we are going to correct that. So drag this a little bit down, try to maintain the same width of the tree that it already had, and maybe this one is going up a little bit. I don't know, you can make your own tree. Trees are easy. Not really, but yeah, we're going to drag this one out. Is this far enough? Maybe this one is growing a little bit more to the, well, not to the bottom. That looks weird. We're also, as I said, going to make a tree, a branch up top. So make 2 more. And yeah, we'll have to adjust that, because I should have made those in one of the earlier keyframes. So this and then this. I have too many points here. Nope, man, I actually tried this before and then I still mess it up. So we're going to do it like this. Apparently these are linear keyframes, and that actually looks quite alright. We're going to drag these inwards a little bit so that it doesn't look too weird. So it now has 3 branches. Obviously, as I said, you can make your own tree. Maybe yours has 4, maybe yours has only like 1 big one and a few small ones, but that is all alright. So as we will see now, from this point onwards, they should start to grow. So the points really just start growing from here. Before here, they're just in a line, but because we started here, because we drew them on here, or at least we made this this point here, they're going to grow from here and grow into nice big, yeah, well, branches, which is exactly what we wanted. So let's say that at, I don't know, this point, they're big enough to support side branches. So we're going to go to that point, and we're, oh, yeah, I don't think if you noticed, but this point, it was supposed to be linear by now. So we're going to set that to linear. And then we're going to go back to the pen tool and draw on some side branches. So we're going to want 1 over here, and this time we do need 3 points. And we do need 3 points over here. They don't have to be exactly across from each other. Let's not do that over here. Do 1 over here and 1 over here. Just make a little dynamic tree. Should look good. So they're supposed to be small in the beginning, and then they can grow bigger and bigger the more time passes. So at this point, all we did is add some stuff, but we're going to once again go to where our tree is fully grown, and pick up the middle point and just drag it out for all of them. I want it to be a little bit further forward. It looks a little more like it's an actual tree. Obviously it's not an actual tree because it looks kind of cartoony, but that is quite alright. That's the way I like it. And as you might have noticed, all of these endpoints have handles on them. They're not super disturbing, but you can delete them with the Convert Vertex tool if you want that. I like the sharpness of these branches. You can of course make more branches than I made. Oh, that is not good. I already did that one. Yeah, you can always correct it. by just doing Control Z, or in this case I could just click on it, make it linear again. So now we have branches that spawn right here. They're just branches, and then they spawn their own smaller branches. Excellent. We can do one more if we want to, like one more iteration of this, so make even smaller branches. And if you want to, you can continue on, of course. Let's do something else. I kind of like that. Let's make like another branch over here, just on the side. So the other ones came in, maybe one over here as well. I don't know. So the other ones came in over here at 2 seconds. We're now at 5 seconds, and these just start to grow from 5 seconds onwards. And because I put them very, very far apart apparently. But I wanted to say, because I put them in early, while the tree is still growing, we can actually see that they grow with the tree. So they become bigger the longer the time goes by. Yeah, we're going to want to put them close together. So the 3 points have to be relatively close together, because the tree is going to grow, so the distance between them will increase. I'm going to just hit the Convert Vertex tool immediately here on these middle points, making sure that they do what I want them to do. Yeah, this is what I wanted. If you're not sure what I'm looking for, I want them to be without handles. I know I've said it like a million times, but people do ask questions like that, and I just want to make sure that you understand what I'm doing. So here is where the tree is fully grown, and so this branch is coming out. This branch is also coming out. They're a little bit small, so we can increase them a little bit. Try to keep on the same line so that it doesn't look too weird. Yeah, that's good. So we will see that they will now grow, become bigger and wider, and eventually stop growing. So maybe these also have side branches. So let's find the point, 7 seconds in this case, where we want to make them have side branches. Once again, just put 3 points on there, and maybe on the other side, maybe over here, I don't know, and then over here, and over here. Every branch has 2 little side branches. You can make more. It doesn't really matter to me what I make, as long as I show you what the principle is and how you can make them on your own. So you can see that I'm just converting these middle vertices once again, and then we're going back to the last part, and we're going to grow them out. We're going to make sure they're nice and big, like this, and maybe this one is a little bit smaller, and it becomes a little bit more like a tree. So yeah, maybe this one, put that out a little bit more, I don't know, something like that. You can of course make more branches, you can change your everything about it. Okay, once we're done, because well, you can make whatever you want, but once we're done making our tree here, we are going to go and lock this layer, because we no longer want to adjust it. And as you can see, that's our tree. We can now actually turn up the opacity on this one. T once again, T for transparency actually. And you can see that we misplaced the layers a little bit. The tree actually has to be behind the green, because we want it to grow from the ground and not be visible and blah 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 blah. But you can see here that it's growing out of the thing. It's a little bit too big, my tree, in the top here, because it doesn't fit with the top branch, so we do have to correct that. Those are things that you will notice once you've done these things, and we're going to just adjust that a little bit at least, make sure that it kind of fits a little bit better. I don't know, something like that. No, it's still not good enough. because now this one looks weird, which makes this one look weird. Just play with it a little. Make sure that you agree with what you actually made. And I think I just need to increase the size of this top branch, and that will fix it a little bit better. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go. So yeah, the top part, I don't really agree with what it looks like, but for now it'll have to do, I guess. Let's see if we can actually make this a little bit higher. Maybe that will work. Set this one a little bit lower, but at least make it a little bit wider. So like that, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, well, it's not great, but yeah, that's why you need to make the shape of your tree immediately correct, because I can't correct it now, because I have so many vertices by now that I can't correct all of them, and that is kind of a problem. So we're going to just have to live with it. Making this one of the harder things to do, even though it's not that difficult, it is still, well, you have to plan ahead. So we're going to make a new layer, and we're going to do the one thing that we still need to do, which is add leaves. So we're going to obviously have some green leaves. That's a little bit too bright. Then again, it's a cartoon. Who cares? So we can always adjust the color if we want to, but, well, yeah, it is a little bit bright. So if you want to change it, just go to Layer, Solid Settings, and then just change the color. Hit OK, and there it is. A little bit less of a brightness. And we're going to just draw in a little bit of this. It doesn't matter where you draw for now, because I will tell you what to correct in a moment. We're going to go to Masks once again. Oh, hang on. We're going to drag them together first. So we want this to be small. Not too small, but small for now. No, let's just keep it like that. Anyway, we're going to make a little bit of a leaf shape. I'm only using 4 vertices. You can make as many as you want, because maybe you want to have this very fancy leaf of, like, I don't know, some kind of maple leaf tree. You can make it yourself. This is going to be my leaf. It's very simple, and it's very, well, recognizable as a leaf, I think. What we now need to do, and that is only for the first leaf, we're going to have to put our anchor points, that's what it's called, we're going to have to put that, here it is, we're going to put that in the middle of our leaf, and you can, well, not the middle, the rotation point basically. This is where we want our leaf to rotate. So if I rotate now, so hit R for rotation, you will see that it rotates around the anchor point. So if I put my anchor point in a different position, let's say, oh, let's undo the rotation first. 0. And I guess 0 again. If we put that anchor point somewhere else, so let's say we put it over here. So now they're not matched up, and I do rotation, then you will see, yeah, it still rotates around the anchor point, but that's not what we want. We need this to be correct, so we're going to just hit, oh no, let's reposition this once again. So anchor point, and just drag it until you say, like, yeah, I can live with that if it rotates around that. And now mine is going to be rotating around that point. And we're going to place this leaf somewhere on the tree. It doesn't really matter where for now. It is going to be our top leaf. So that's the first one. And then, yeah, this is going to be very tedious. I will warn you straight up. But it's the only way to do it properly. We're going to hit Control D while selecting our layer. Get a new layer, and now we have 2 leaves. We're going to put it over here. Hit the R for rotation, and rotate it to there, and then hit S for scale, maybe turn it up a little. Then we're going to have our layer still selected, Control D, new leaf. Yes, it's going to be like that for a long time. R for rotation, rotate it to where you want it to be. Scale it up if you want to. You don't have to do everything with the scale. You can just adjust it if you want to. So R for rotation, just make it into something nice. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Control D, which makes another one. And yes, there are going to be quite a few leaves on this tree, so we're going to have quite a bit of work ahead of us. But that is alright. I mean, it is going to look awesome. I'll show you what it looks like right now. Oh, hang on. We do need to... Ooh, that's a good thing I saw that. Whoa, I can't believe I missed that. I'm going to delete everything except for the first one because I forgot something. And that is why I wanted to make sure that I did it correctly. And that's why we have this rotation set and everything. So first of all, go to 10 seconds and go to masks, mask 1, Mosque Path, set one of these points, and then it's going to grow because we're going to grow the leaves for, let's say, 3 seconds. So go to 13, make another one. This is where the leaf is maximum. So that's the maximum amount of growth. That's how big it's going to be in the end. Now we're going to go back to 10 seconds and we're going to put a mask manually, unfortunately, back to just about 0. So select one point at a time and just put all of them where you know your anchor point to be. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be small. And yeah, I forgot this completely. I'm sorry about that. It makes the tutorial a little less solid, I guess. Then we're going to change all the vertices to linear. And yes, that's kind of hard to tell when they're this close together. But they're all linear now. And now I will show you that the leaf actually grows. Oh, let me show you here. So once the tree comes in, so the tree is maximum height, then it's going to grow and turn into a leaf. Excellent! That is what we wanted. So now that we have this animation of the growing, we're going to do that in for all the leaves. So we have to start over, unfortunately, but I'm really glad that I caught that early on, because yeah, otherwise I would have done a lot of work. Anything else that we need to do? I don't think so. We did everything that we wanted to. So yeah, once again, Control D for the duplicate with the layer selected, obviously. Hit R for the rotation. We're going to do this. Hit S for the scaling, and then hit Control D. Hit R for the rotation. Hit S for the scaling if you want scaling. Hit Control D, and so on and so on. R for the rotation. I'm just going to do a few of them. Well, I guess I know I want the entire tree. Yeah, so I think I'm going to speed it up a little. Okay, so here we are again, and we added a bunch of leaves, and now we can actually see what it looks like. So yeah, you can see that once the tree grows, they will start growing, and there's your tree. So it's not a very fancy thing to do, but keep in mind that, well, once you do these animations, so this first leaf basically, that is everything that you're going to get. So if you want to have more than just that little grow that I made, just add it in with the first one. Anyhow, we're going to select all of the leaf layers, which are basically you select the first one, then you hit Shift, and you click the bottom one, and then we're going to go to Layer, Pre-Compose, and we're going to hit this. I'm going to rename it, never mind. So I don't know how to rename it actually. Double click? Nope. I don't know. I wanted to rename it. It seemed a logical thing to do. No, anyway, that's our leaves now. So what we did is we took all of the leaf layers and put them in a new composition, which we are using here now as called Precomp 1. And we can rename this at least leaves. So this is the leaf layer, and if we turn it off, you can see that all of the leaves disappear, and it just makes it easier to recognize. So this one is all the leaves, as you can see. This is the tree, and we're using the leaves on the tree. The only thing we now need to do is we go to 10 seconds, which is when the leaves start growing. Once again, page down to go 1 frame forward, page up to go back. So if you have trouble finding this exact spot, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that this layer doesn't exist before the 10-second mark. We're going to split it, we're going to delete the first part, and this means that there are no like glitches in the air or something like that, and all we need to do is make sure that it exists after the fact, after the moment it starts growing. So from here on out you can add whatever you want, like a sun to the sky maybe. Here, for example, if we wanted to add a sun in the sky, we would just go and add a sun in the sky by doing solid. And we want a yellow sun. Yeah, okay. And we're going to just make a little bit of a circle. Here, pen tool, just make 4 points, and obviously I can't see where I started. Wow, that was a complete guess, by the way. And I'm going to go to masks here and just hit the Mosque Path shape, and then we're going to go from 200 to 400 and from 700 to 900, making sure that, oh, I forgot something, making sure that the ellipse that we want is actually a nice circle. It's a little bit big, but hey, it'll do. You can make it smaller if you want to. Yeah, let's edit this a little bit. So at time 0, we want this to be all the way down here. Oh, yeah, obviously, as you can see, it needs to be behind the ground. We're going to pick up the layer, drop it behind the horizon, or the field, but above the background layer, which is the sky. We do want it to be visible. So we're going to put it over here, and then over the first, I don't know, let's say 3 seconds. So the tree is already growing, and oh, I forgot something. I actually needed to do something. I wanted to get the Mosque Path once again to be animated. So we're going to go to 3 seconds. Mosque Path is still selected. I have the entire thing selected, so the entire shape. If you don't, then just hit Mosque Path and pick up one of them, and then we're going to put it over here. Okay. Hang on, we're not going to do that. We're going to do it with position, apparently. So, yeah, turn off the Mosque Path. We're going to hit the position layer and just move the position from here. And then at 3, we're going to be over there. And now, currently, it moves like this. Like, boom, one line. That is really bad. That is exactly not what we want it to be. So we're going to pick up these little handles that are here. You can see them. Yeah, they're very hard to spot, but they're over here. And you can drag them just like you can do any other thing. And you can drag them and make just a nice path instead of the crap that we had before. So this one is even harder to spot because it's just a random dot somewhere. I really don't know where it is. Come on, where's my end position, guys? This one? Oh, come on. What did I select this time? So select the end thing and then just drag this over. See, I knew it was there. So now it's going to make this nice arc through the air. And yes, because I didn't line up the sun with the anchor point, it's going to look a little bit weird. If we do that, however, we can make, well, we can get the exact thing. So let's do that. Let's just show you how it's done. So we're going to transform anchor points, and we're going to line up the anchor point with our sun, the middle of the sun, that is. A little bit higher. The anchor point's over here, by the way. It is the thing that's moving. It's this little cross with a circle around it. It's hard to spot, but you'll notice it when you're making this. So currently, yeah, you can see that the sun runs off screen, and that's because our position thingy, yeah, well, just says to do that. So we can actually just pick up the position, make sure that it goes like this. We want it to be vertical here, horizontal over here. Maybe move the sun up a little. The sun will be behind the tree, so if you want to make a little effect that actually shows that, so maybe if your tree is over here, you can actually show that as well. So let's now make it that our sun comes up first, and then this tree starts to grow. So the only thing you need to do for that is you unlock all of the layers that have the tree in them. So the leaves and the little, well, the trunk itself, I guess, all of the wood part. You select them, so this one and this one, and you just drag them out to where you want them. So currently this tree starts growing at 0, so you just drag them to 3 seconds, and now we will see that the tree starts growing later. So it's not very hard to understand, I guess. So the sun is going to come up, and once the sun is all the way up, it is going to grow the tree for us. So yeah, you can make more things to this animation, obviously. You can make whatever you want to this animation, in fact. And yeah, just make it more awesome. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.